The following is a production of the University of Minnesota, driven to discover.
Well, hi everyone. This is David, your host for the Peer Assisted Learning Podcast. I'm adding a new feature to the podcast this season. There are more than 1,600 publications in this annotated database of post-secondary peer cooperative learning programs, and that database grows more each week. In fact, I think the actual total is up to about 1,650 now. These publications are from the 7 major national and international programs that I track in the professional literature. Well, rather than only providing PDF copies of this major bibliography, which occurred in the recent podcast episode, or providing you some of the topical bibliographies that I also have created, I thought I'd do something a little bit different, and that is to select some of the publications that are on the same topic and then share the summaries of those publications for you to be able to listen to. I'll also go ahead and put up a PDF copy of whatever it is that we talk about in the episode, but I thought I would give you some choices here to be able to listen as well as to be able to read about these. Now, this will occur throughout the season. Right now, I'm working with 14 colleges from Australia, Canada, and the United States to be able to feature short interviews with the program directors and the student leaders themselves. And those will be spread throughout the season and probably through an additional season. Boy, it's going to be probably, by the time we finish up, probably 50 interviews. It's going to be wonderful. And I thought I would also share the bibliographic audio summaries throughout the year as well. Well, rather than me reading all the content, I decided to recruit some others to help share their narration's responsibilities. I purchased a license for synthetic voices, the Natural Reader Corporation. Some of you may be familiar with Natural Reader. They play a major role of helping dyslexic children and adults to read school materials and to improve their reading skills. Ask a parent with a dyslexic child, and they probably know about the software or one that's pretty similar to it. The corporation also has a special set of commercial grade voices that can be licensed to produce narration for YouTube videos, podcast episodes, educational learning materials, public service announcements, and more. I'll be using the same technology on a new project of mine. I'm going to end up starting up a new podcast because I've been thinking about how is it that I could share some of my previous publications that I have copyright control of and be able to share audio versions of those. So I thought that might be a good way to be able to provide another way to be able to share. Now, I would provide a short introduction to the audiobook, turn over the narration to several of the synthetic voices. If you're curious about these new projects of mine, these audiobooks, follow them through the web link equityaudiobooks.org. I'm also going to create ebooks and give those away free, and that's going to be through equityebooks.org. A new audio podcast, as I said, is going to be created, and it will be called Equity Audiobooks. Those web links will lead you to a page located on my personal website, arendale.org. When I think back about my scholarship, it's covered lots of different topics, but there's been a central value expressed by all of them, and it's the word equity. Equity is about ensuring that people achieve the same outcomes of their learning experiences. And there's a lot of difference between equality of opportunity, which means people get a chance, but instead, I want to move beyond that, and that is about being equitable and making sure that we provide that all the students achieve their learning goals. Well, I'd like to introduce some of the synthetic voices that you'll be listening to this season on the podcast. Well, perhaps it's my sense of humor, but I'm introducing interaction among the voices when reading and even injecting some humor. I think that helps with the communication process and staying engaged with this highly detailed, thoughtful content that's been created by this wonderful worldwide set of scholars as they talk about their prayer learning programs and how they have assessed them and how they have described them. I hope that you're going to agree. In case you wonder about my sense of humor, I'm a big fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000. If you don't know what that is, that's okay. You can look it up on Wikipedia. If only I could have licensed the voices of Tom Servo, Gypsy, Crow T Robot, and their friends, it would make it even more entertaining. Well, our first voice to introduce is Ronald.
Thanks, David. I appreciate being introduced as a synthetic person, rather than merely a nameless robot voice. I am capable of expressing emotions, having feelings, and interacting with others. One of the first things most people think about when they hear robotic, monotone voices are either the HAL 9000 computer in the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey, who has a nervous breakdown and kills most everyone on the spaceship. When is the last time you heard a computer speaking during a science fiction movie that was not evil? Or, many people think of our famous cousins, Alexis or Siri. Let's hear from Leslie, who is another member of our synthetic family, talking about our distant relatives.
Thanks, Ronald. As he said, my name is Leslie. I feel sorry for Alexis and Siri. They mostly get asked to tell what time it is, how hot or cold it is outside, who won the game last night, and to play some music. Or maybe, to turn a light on or off. Really, can't people do anything on their own anymore? Ronald and the rest of our synthetic family have the opportunity to do more than our cousins by informing you of the wonderful scholarship published about peer learning programs. This gives you a chance to multitask while keeping updated on the latest research as you exercise, work around the house, or drive your car. Noah is another member of the family, and he has something to say.
Thanks, Sally. I'm Noah. Just so you know, we actually will let David speak too during the podcast episodes. You will hear him as he provides summary statements about the publications and what he is thinking. Sometimes, you will hear us talking and asking questions of one another to make it more interesting and to focus on some of the key points. You might even hear us arguing with each other. These are complicated issues. In any case, we hope we can help make it a better listening experience. It is time to let David share the final word, at least with this podcast episode. Take it away, David.
Well, thanks, team. I hope this experiment is successful in improving your listening enjoyment, engagement, and serves as a catalyst for learning more about a profession that is rapidly changing, growing, and improving. We'll tune in next time when the team and I review some of the best in publications written by other scholars around the world about peer learning. Take care. Bye-bye.